What we're doing today is we're actually continuing this series called Marked. And if you have been coming for a few weeks, or maybe today is your first time with us, let me recap a little bit of where we've been. In the first week, we started off talking about some relational marks. And here's the big idea of what we've been talking about, is that every mark has a story. Every mark, every one of us, we carry some marks on our lives. Some of them are physical marks, some of them are emotional, some of them are relational. But every one of us carries some marks, and some of us have like stupid physical marks, like scars that we were just, from doing something stupid. I have plenty of those, because I'm a genius. But we all have marks, and every one of those marks have a story behind them. And so in week one, what we talked about was that we talked about some relational marks and how from the very beginning of our lives, as we grow, those relational family marks, we gain some, either good or bad. We can get some good marks or we get some bad marks. And those marks, whatever they are, have a lot to do with who we are today and the person that we are becoming, and how we respond to those marks and how we act in according to those marks. Have a lot to do with the person that we are, the person that we're becoming. And that's what we talked about in week one. In week two, we heard from an awesome guy named Billy Joe. He's a tattoo artist, and if you did not get to be here for that week, I would encourage you to get the DVD. Not today, though, because we don't have them today. But some other time, I would encourage you to get the DVD and listen to his story, because he's got an incredible story about his marks and how they have shaped and formed the person that he is. And last week, Paul talked about some events in our lives, some events that are just life-changing events that mark us in some way, or an event that we are tattooed with the remembrance of that event. Today we're going to do something a little different, and really part of the reason why we're doing something different today is because I kind of need your help a little bit in the message. This week, as I was kind of planning for this message, I had like a whole lot of different ideas going on in my head, because I was speaking also this weekend to a group of students. So this is like the 5th time this weekend that I've spoke, and so I've got I'm like all jumbled up, with like stuff from the weekend and today. And so actually, I'm going to get you guys to help me out with something. So here's what I'm going to do. If you have a cell phone, I'm going to give you permission to use it in the service. And here's what I want you to do. On the screen, they're going to put my phone number. And what I need you to do, there it is. That looks pretty. What I need you to do is I want you to text me some answers to a question. Your answer to this question. What is a significant mark that you have on your life? A significant mark. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's worry. Maybe it's an event that you've experienced, or something that has happened to you in your life, or a relational mark that is very significant to you, good or bad, either one. And in a couple minutes, I'm gonna read those. I don't need your name. I'm not gonna wow, that guy's messed up, and read your name and then point you out or anything like that. I'm not going to do that. I want you to kind of contribute a little bit to what I'm talking about today, because I think your stories, your answers, your marks have a lot to do with what we're talking about. Because really what's going on is that we're going to take a step in the direction that we are not the only ones that carry some marks. Because I think a lot of times we feel like we're the only ones. I think a lot of times we feel like this mark that we have, a scar that we carry, or an event that has happened to us, that we are the only one that has been there, and we're the only one that carries that, and we feel no relief or healing, because we feel like we're all alone. And today, what I want you to be able to walk away with is an understanding that you are not alone in that mark, that you are not alone in that scar, that you are not alone in that event that has marked you. And I know in church world, we say this a lot, and it's kind of cliched, and quite honestly, I get tired of people using this statement about things that we go through. But if you can move past the cliched part of it, and you can move past the thing that the fact that it's kind of churchy, to the truth that is so deep in this statement, I believe that our lives can truly begin to be what God wants us to be. And that statement, that truth, is that God understands your marks. And he identifies with those marks. Because you and I are not the only ones that carry some marks. All throughout the Bible, there is a string, a thread that is woven through the stories. Some of the thread is just kind of in the middle of some more powerful stories or some more familiar stories. But all throughout the Bible, there is a thread of Christ's marks that he carries. And today we're going to kind of look at some of those marks that Christ carries, because here's what I feel about Christ's marks, that his marks are so similar to our marks, and his marks can bring some healing and some comfort and some hope in the middle of our marks, in the middle of some scars that we carry, some events that have impacted us in a very profound way. And we are searching for answers, and we are searching for some relief, for some hope. His marks can bring that if we let him. And that's kind of where we're going today. And so the reason I want to kind of hear from you is because hopefully, now, I should have said this earlier. I've done this with students before, and I've only got like one or two, like, hey, you're stupid, or, that jacket looks really dumb on you. I've only got a couple of those before, so hopefully you are of a more mature and loving and encouraging nature, because I have really low self-esteem, so I can't really deal with any more of those. But I just want to read some of your answers, because hopefully the things that you say, the marks that you carry, some of the events that you have gone through, today we can kind of see how Christ has been in those situations. Missed opportunity is one answer. The day I found out I had cancer, and the day that God brought me to his side for strength. Thank you, I am cute. Somebody told me I was cute, so. Widowed when I was 23. Wow. Betrayed by so-called Christians. Learning to let it all go and put it in God's hands. Divorce and then God's redemption thereafter. Legalism. I don't know what that means, but okay. Baby on the way, that's a huge event. Good. Father's death. Mom's death. Love of my family. Let's see. I have a tattoo on my back of a breast cancer ribbon and a wishing star with my mom's initials in it, memorializing her. She passed away 3 years ago tomorrow. A fresh start. I used to party a lot and sneak out a lot until I got a phone call telling me my friend got drunk and died in an accident. Let's see, there's one more. Pulled between the world and God's work for me. Every one of those are very significant marks.